Just know he has his hand. Just know he has his hand. Just know he has his hand. Oh, you, on me, on everyone. Here is the answer on us. Shalom, people. How is everybody doing? I promised a live session on the people of Israel and the state of Israel on our WhatsApp channel. Even our very dear brother had been very much. He made a post. I think I saw that post somewhere. Maybe I made the same comment there. I was praying I shouldn't have made that comment somewhere else except on his inbox. Because he had to make me, it was his response that made me look back at what I answered. You know, some of these religious people, when they see such a response, they will not talk again. And it was because I misunderstood the word that was benchmarked. And so immediately I saw bench. And immediately the what came into my brain then was benching for football. So not even the mark again came to my mind. I'm not joking. This is how it was. This is how we said we are true. When you are able to tell the nature, no matter how shameful it should look, that's when you said you are true. When you are still covering some things up and you don't say you are true. If I lie now and have to escape something somewhere, I may be talking about it somewhere else and I have to tell the person that I have to even skip some line like that. Yes, our father Abraham did it. You even have to tell the wife, come, you are too beautiful for this sleeping nonsense king. Just tell him you are my sister, or else he will just smash my head off. That's how our generation have been from the onset. We know ourselves. If you say you want to be true on earth, irrespective of who born you, wherever you belong, it is a thing that you become. And when you become it, it will be a trouble to the world. That is how it goes. That was why even the last, the guy that came, I heard about this guy that happened in the Congo or something. They said the last time they have to take him, cut his body into sacks, and they throw him into the ocean, and he still appears somewhere, and all those nonsense. I call it nonsense, yes. Because to the common man, these are things that are not possible or that. People who believe in God, God can decide to do anything with them. Don't start doing nonsense. That is just reality. As in, if they tell you they believe in God, God can decide to give their head away. It doesn't matter. But if God don't decide not to give the head away, it will be a trouble for you to be the one to be looking for it. That was why the king, even when, the spirit is, I didn't plan, I didn't title this live session. I wanted to just make it and then later go for it. The spirit was just referring the issue of this Papa Abraham to me now. After the guy still lied, God have to go and tell the king that if you told that girl, I will not just cut your manhood, I will do anything to you. The king came and started, why do you lie to me now? Whereas if he had told him the truth, possibly he would have. And Abraham in the first place, if he decided to have told him the truth, he was just too scared of risking God. You know what risking God is? Putting God on the line like you want to tempt God. You are seeing a dangerous situation, you just said because you trust in God, you are putting your head in it. That was why you see the whole of Abraham. Someone who want to slaughter his own son, telling the wife that. That's how serious it gets. Anyway, that's not how we came on. Why we came online. The spirit, your Shalom. Who is this person? My face, maybe it's the version I'm using. I'll update it. It's not showing me the person that should come online. I'm seeing somebody available now. Shalom. Hope you're fine. You may identify anyway if you want. So we are saying that the session we want to have on the state of Israel and the people of Israel, because many people are mixing things up. Maybe the spirit said I should still spill some things into it now. Possibly I'll just spill a few, then post my research on it. Because many people, the reasonings we are having in our generation is that we talk, but we don't research, we don't read. Many of us want to talk without reading, and that is where we cause trouble in the world. You spend your time, he says, study to show yourself approved, a workman that needed not be ashamed, rightly dividing, not just the word of truth or whatever, dividing anything that is involved. That's why this man, when he was saying something, he said he's a man that loves justice. He said he can be on the street and even start fighting because of oppression. That's how it happens to these people. But the problem, the difference you see between them is that some of them, I told that Malam when I was with him in Ekeke, I said, some of you have to bend because you want to fit in. That's why you see someone like me, if he say if you give 2 coats, you have to go to carry one, go give somebody. And now you come into my room and you meet only 1 coat and you are complaining. Or you say you believe in Jesus that told people to go and give 1 out of 2 coats. How it comes that way? It doesn't. That is how the complication of all this nonsense starts from. So the state of Israel, when we're talking about it, we are talking about the Balfour Declaration happened in 1917. We discussed that in our review, and we still have some of the documents that was referred to it. Even the research we just did, because I asked my assistants to compile the list of information available on the state of Israel and the people of Israel. And she came up with a demon. You know her very well, Abby. She's been very, very active. You know, since I employed her, that was where we've been able to even produce books within weeks now. Because demon have been very active. Don't worry, you'll meet her soon. But then let's go on with what we are saying. See me that I can answer before when I start all the demon inquisition stuff. I don't still forget me again. All right, like the issue of where were we? State of Israel and the people of Israel. When we did our diggings into it, we find out that the state of Israel that was created in 1948, that was after the Second World War. And the creation of the state of Israel was exactly why the Second World War had to happen. Because it was right in the agenda that brought about the First World War. Now, in the Balfour Declaration of 1917, that was where it was declared in England, in the United Kingdom, that it was necessary to have a state that was called the State of Israel. It was later when the seat of power was transferring it, so it was a people. That was why when we did our research and we found what we found, it was some of the people, they call it conspiracy theory. I was believing in some of those things and I said it was, as in I believe in them as believing that they are conspiracy theories too. Until sometimes they call it, our guys call it rabbit hole. When we started going deeper into our searchings, we came about things that were convinced without any kind of, like when they are talking about the Pentagon, they said the Mossad was one that came after it. They show video, this is where we get our conviction. You may not won't be convinced by it. They show video of the Twin Tower coming down at different time. It's a space of several times. They even said the family that they have people who were working there who got recordings of their calls. There was a lady that followed it up. It was Obama that said when they wanted to celebrate this lady. I told the people, since they are looking for me to kill me now, so anything that I'm hiding from you is like I am bankrupting the source of life that gave me the opportunity to see. That's why when you see me mentioning, I want you to go and do your own personal research. I'm not just someone who sits down in one village and want to just talk. For what? When they made when what do we call it? When I was even right from childhood, I hardly want to take the front seat in anything. Now back I want to sit. But unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for me, I was very small. So teachers have to, when we just arrange in primary, in Genesis 1, even in primary school, it still happened. I think lecture was the one that came to, I will sit at the back of tall people. They will say, what is doing this one? Because I hardly want to be noticed. Thank God I'm even ugly self. But am I ugly? Look at my face now. Look, the issue is there was this when this my boy that he had. I saw the story of what happened. That's why I love the spirit of truth. I was saying something when I had my session this evening. We are still going back to the topic of state of Israel and people of Israel. We're going a little deep into it, and we shut it for tonight because we really don't want to bankrupt our guys as in keep them waiting again. Yesterday, our brother said he was virtually watching the page to see it come on. Because some of our people, especially Christians, there is something that is called Christian Zionism. And Christian Zionism is what virtually all the churches in the world are involved in. Some of them are standing behind Israel. Some of them are even praying in their crusade for the state of Israel. Some of them are even originally people of Israel, especially some of the people in tribes in West Africa. When you trace their origin, they are having genes of the original Hebrew. We are talking about the children of Jacob, the descendant of Abraham. This is how it came. I talk about it in our last session where we have to do religion. When I have to talk about the prophet Isa, quoting that the kingdom was going to be taken away from these people because they saw the truth, but they rejected it. And he said it was going to be taken. It was not going to, because God have already promised the earth to Abraham. He said, your seed will fill the earth. And so it was his seed that this serpent and every other things were fighting, the seed that they promised in the first place. My friend was connecting, he said, when you trace it back to the time of Adam and Eve, he said, I will put an enemy between my seed and your seed. Go and read that book. I am just editing it. By God's grace, we will release it, I said, by weekend. I thought I would be able to complete the editing today, but something kept us away. So we possibly by weekend we are going to release the book. It's Defying the Beast. Possibly after that book, I don't know any other book that we're going to be having to put hands into. The spirit said we have to write that, because some of the people believe Bible is a fallacy. As in all those Revelation, Daniel, and all that. If your brain is connected and you think people are just giving histories, Daniel was how many years away from prophet Isa? That's Jesus. How many years away from John, the Revelation? So all those nonsense, and you just think it's just history that was just coinciding. You're on your own. Nobody is forcing you. That's why the Spirit, even the time of Christ and others, it was when the Spirit, I have to mention then that when the kingdom was taken away from the children of Jacob, who were supposed to, they said Jacob wrestled with, and they changed his name to Israel. It was his descendants that David came from. And David's child was supposed to be the seed of Christ that brought it. And still they hated him and killed him. And he said the kingdom will be taken away from you when they were coming for it. At that point of his ministry, he was so powerful that you cannot just tamper with him anyhow. But he has to release the will. The Spirit was showing me something when I told you guys. Let's assume now I'm not a pastor. That's one thing. We know the history of, like, I can connect. Let me pick it. If it's not yeah, sorry please for the interruption. I called her before I came online, but she wasn't picking, so she had to call back. So where were we before that came in? I think the seed of Jacob and all that mixed up. We are not going there officially. Why we are not supposed to say we are not going there is that how did the seed of Kenny come up? I study into Masonry. Masonry is a study into the supposed religion of Abraham. What Christian and Islam is doing now. That is why high-class Muslims, high-class Christian, you can find them in Masonry, you can find them in Rosicrucianism. Because these are the people that are actually telling you some of these details that connects the art to it. Somebody came and was sending me message when I have to confront some of them. Over the time, they defiled the message of everybody. That's why I have to quote these people. So when they now have what we call Freemasonry, it now become, if you go and read Morals and Dogma, I have a copy of it. If you need it, send me a message on my WhatsApp, 081069 069079949. That's my number. If you don't have it, record it and save it. I'll say it again, 081069079949. That's the number I'm using on WhatsApp. You can connect it. I'll send you a copy of it. If you read this whole thing and see the inscription there, the two seeds of Abraham were supposed to be the one to be used to destroy the world. But how can they be used if they actually believe in God as they should, to make the promise of Abraham came to pass? This is how the whole structure of the state of Israel and what you see going on in the Arab world comes in. Now, some of these people said Iran is defending Islam. It was this man that took away, the kingdom was taken away from the children of Israel, and it was given to this brother of Arab. Now, when it was given to him, Satan still went there and sowed some seed in the midst of it. That was what the prophet of Isa was quoting. He said, when the feed had been laid, that kingdom had been laid. He said, when men slept, by then, when you talk about the vision of the men sleeping, we are talking about these men were dead, because in the spiritual version of life, when they talk about sleep, maybe you go dream, say you see somebody they sleep, or you see yourself they sleep, there is a possibility you are going to be traveling the earth. And people do see it, and it comes back to them, but they don't, except they told people. Because I have a very close people and even elderly friend, even in my environment, and you will not. These are real men. He's a Muslim, and we are very good friends. He's an elderly man. He even told me of such things that have happened to people before. So we don't just sit down somewhere and start quoting nonsense and talking about what we do not know. There are verifications of So when we are talking about all these things, the kingdom being taken away from the Israelites and given to who? They didn't tell you that. But when the kingdom was now structured, we saw that the seed had been sown, but the enemy went and sowed tears in the midst when men slept. What was the sleeping of men? The spirit is just opening that to me now. That's what happened with the uncle of Khadijah. Uncle of Khadijah validated the first spirit that came to tempt the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The spirit was so brutal on the Prophet that the Prophet actually believed he was mad. And when we went into the history of spirits or angels speaking to people or prophets in the history of mankind or in the lineage of Adam, Abraham, and others, we never saw any of the prophet that was tempted or troubled by. Even a woman, Miriam, the Quran recorded it. That's why I study my Quran very well. When we took years of research, some people thought we were joking me. The world is at the verge of destruction. Why I talk is because of people I care about. It was one of these live sessions because I know there are people like myself all around the world. So like when this when this my brother Robert have to put up a very serious connection to it. It was one of the live sessions like this that he met. And so when we come into the reality of the kingdom that is come upon us, so let me keep quiet. Maybe you could hear some things. Can you hear? Okay. I thought because somebody was talking and I thought I wanted you people to hear, but you know why I wanted to put that? Because it was a spiritual affair. It is not when you are talking about these two people, the state of Israel, the people of Israel. Go and do your research. After this thing, I'm going to post my research on that. I told you. So go after you watch it, go and do your own research. Ask questions. That's why you see them demonizing some of these research engines that are open in this generation again. They didn't expect that there are people that are going to be asking real questions from these machines. And they now have programmed the machine so well that the machine will tell you anything you ask it to tell you. So that's where they get themselves into trouble. You see them demonizing it again. We are talking about real research, things that have been found out. I told the spirit this last session that I had, when he was asking me whether I wanted to escape, I want to excuse some of these people that have gotten themselves in trouble. I told him, I was seriously not going to say. And the spirit now said, please. And I was like, okay, but please keep them far away from me. Because the truth is, you can't be seeing what is coming upon earth. I stopped a young man and I talked about it. After we talked about it, he said, thank you, and left. I told him I will share books with him. He doesn't want to read. They believe in what they believe. They don't want to study. They don't want to know whether there is anything happening in the world. All they know is that they believe in what they believe. And the scripture, the Bible said, faith without work is what? Death. It's eternal death that is talking about, not death in the body. You will be destroyed forever. It is not, you don't fight against God and survive it. That was why he had to even, he said, those ones were saying, when they were killing Jesus Christ, that's prophet Isabi. When they were killing him, he said, let the blood be upon us and our children. That's how some of the generation get themselves into trouble. So when you know how it came. I was saying something about the uncle of Khadijah, the wife of the prophet then. He said, when men slept, the enemy came and sowed seed. What was the sleeping of men? It was Christian that this uncle was. He was a Christian officially. Maybe you didn't know before. The uncle, he was a cousin or uncle. I think they call it cousin in some places. Some people call it uncle. He was a Christian and he was a renowned person in the city that validated the first spirit. It was not that Gabriel did not talk to the prophet. And the only thing is if you give access, that was why they tempted Christ. Once you give the first access to it, when Christ was on the mountain for 40 days, the first thing that happened to him before he could come to the public was that he was tempted of Satan 3 times. So the first thing that happens to your first appearance is that Satan is going to tempt you badly. With even death self. That was why he was, if Christ have done the jumping of one, he would have laughed and went away. Christ broke your hands on. And Christ, God would have still spare him. Like he did to Abraham, like we just quoted. See, he said, lightly dividing the word of truth. The word is coming to a stage where you are going to choose where you belong. I was removing people from our group. I think we are still about 90 something. And the spirit is saying that we are going to bring it down to about 49. 49 people. Because it is a joke to some people, and they don't.
Confused idiot. Listening to him is wasting of your time.
Brother Roberts, if you watch this session and you could hear this thing. I want you to comment on it about it and comment on our relationship and our discussion so far. After you comment that, I will narrate it in our the next live session. I used to tell you people that if I leave or something, this person that's talking, so most of them, when my mom, the offense he has against my mom was that, when I was living outside of this place, I do live sessions. So, and I live with guys, I mean top guys. There are different court group in my lodge. I'm not ashamed to say because these guys are my friends and I pray for them too, and they know. You know why? Because in this world that we are living in now, some of the people, the brutality they go by, they will just be troubling innocent people.
Just finished insulting his father at home. He's a complete nuisance to the community. I repeat, listening to him is wasting of your time. He doesn't have any truth in him.
Okay. You have more to say, sir. I'm on live session. I will not stop you it. Honestly, I don't have, the issue is now, I don't have any truth in me and he went away. I want narration of that. Anyway, a nuisance to the community. My community chairman is in my group. When I said people who don't want to be here should leave, he didn't leave. Even I was the one that removed the local government, the past local government chairman. I am the reason that this is the reason I'm going to have to take this now. A nuisance to the whole community. The whole community, when he started his trouble the last time, the whole community gathered around me. We met, one of my guys said, even saw one beautiful woman. He said, the spirit was telling me something. He said, that fight, you can't separate, you can't see woman. And so, problem is the problem that I brought to the house. He said if I have brought, his mother is calming him down or something. Now he said when I have brought problem to the house or something, this is the problem I brought to the house. You all know, Jane Francis, you are going to watch this live session. You are a married woman now, and you are my good friend. You even sent message on WhatsApp. I've not replied before I started this live session. Now let's get at something. The problem that I created at home was that I have been planting Mary Jane since how many years back now? And this guy is he's supposed to be my younger brother. I don't have any younger brother anymore. He's on his own. He's threatening me to kill me and all that. That's what he does, like virtually every time. And even sometimes he won't be armed and want to threaten me or something. I will, you know why I will say this live completely? Because he even was saying that, what can I after I came to the house, he still went and uprooted the ones I had. And the trouble is, he packed it away. He said he threw it somewhere. Maybe if you ask him to bring it today, I don't know whether he can fetch it. I'm saying this on live session now. Mary J was what I planted. Marijuana. I don't hide it. I met a soldier in Kini, Ojota, and he was smoking. I was telling him that I would have want to take that if he could give me some. He said this was the only one he was having and he was smoking. Maybe that officer, if he had any chance of coming about the issue, because he knew I use it, that is my own way of treating my body. For 19 good years, I have never touched any drug from any kind of medicine store. My mom is my witness. And my other sister that I stayed with in Ife. I remember someone who so he uprooted this thing. All these years he had been uprooting and I left him. When I was planting this one, mom said it. I told her that if he should uproot it, I was going to destroy his own farm too. One stick of marijuana is more than the granite he planted there. If I wanted to do wickedness, I would have uprooted everything. That was what it's supposed to be. Because this same person, this is a 36 plus years person, and you 37 or so, continuously doing things that you are not supposed to do. Is that what supposed to life be? This is now, and the problem started. I wanted to actually do a live session about all this parenting thing. Because when you mix it with a child, the child will grow into something that he will be. He said, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. See, the man that trained this same person, God wanted to do new, is the same one that trained me. And no elderly person I've ever met, a stranger in the world that will say, I will disrespect you. But this is me. If you dare lie, or you get involved in evil, or cheating people, or oppression, I will disrespect you honorably. You know how I will disrespect you honorably? I will tell you what you did wrong. And I will still beg you to forgive me if you think I have offended you. That's why I never got problem with people anywhere. Because when I talk to them, I immediately beg them that if I'm sorry if you think I've disturbed you. And this is a live session where at least this is my page. That was why I don't always want to do live session in the night, especially around this place. But sometimes I've been doing it for several years, even in the deep night. It's of recent that maybe I quoted him the other time. I tagged his page on some of these posts. The day he wanted, he was. I always stay in my room and do what I did. But the issue is, like when I came into this place the other time, Princess, my friend, she had to later separate ways. She was in Texas then. Princess sent me 260,000 naira, and I was having 20,000 naira in my account, making it 280,000 naira when I started renovating this room. It was not painted or anything before. It was my room. My dad, when we came into this environment, he built only 2 rooms. When we came into this environment, he pointed it out. My cousin's sister was angry because of that, because what she was expecting was that they will give her 1 room and we will carry 1 room. But my dad pointed it out and said, that room belongs to you. And I stayed in it even all the years. I didn't do anything on it when I was a teacher. Even my girl, Mercy, she came into this place. We almost had sex. These are matured ladies. We are not afraid of, we are not ashamed of talking about our past, because we knew it was a mistake we didn't know and we made. So there is no all those hiding and seeking and all those nonsense. If I stole and you mention, I will tell you I did. There was a time I carried Aaron shirt for FC. This guy that was talking was his size. He was the one that even wore it all the years. He is possibly the one that will call me out today and say I'm a thief. The problem I had back then is that I'm not satisfied, but I am a popular guy. I'm a drummer that's playing around. If I don't have money to keep all that, so I will be tempted to do. There are young people. I told them, I said, some of you have to just adjust, to just believe in God as you want, but then you are still adjusting to keep up. So let's officially, let's go back to our topic. I just have to narrate all this because if you heard that one, like I tagged him, that was one thing. I wanted him to have just come on live and tell you, my friends and others, like Bro Robert now. If he heard, he will want to speak with the guy, because I have called him myself. I said, come, let's talk. What's going on? And I know this is a spiritual thing. Only I have the best I can do. The best I can do is to just avoid the sin. If not, the worst that could have happened, as in you can't force truth on somebody. And the only thing you could have done is just maybe collapse the system and let it not exist. And that is not too hard for God to do. If he continue threatening my life when I'm benefiting people. Brother Robert asked me how much he should pay for my therapy. I said it is free. If you see me not carrying money around, it is not that I don't have skills. My lady asked me, he said, if you do these things free. I went to play drums. They gave me 500 naira. I said no. For my transport, I say no. Because I just believe it is, what is it? Just let's play and enjoy our life and live. How many lives do we come? Just how many years? And the worst thing is you don't even know when you are going to die. You may even be planning of killing somebody, and in the midst of you planning that thing, you are dead. Just going to sleep, you are not waking up. So why are we then struggling and not do? See, the issue is, as far as I'm concerned, you know, we were a topic on state of Israel, and you know why he's coming, he got angry on that, because he's someone who believes in all those, he will even be telling the narratives to my mom, as in someone who is my own mom, me that you will be asking questions to tell you about things. She will now have another son that is telling her things that he cannot prove. That's why when I tag him, he ran away. I tagged my big sister, Elizabeth. The other one, I told my mother I don't have anything to do with her. She thought I was joking me. And I'm not joking. If you don't reject, when I was coming down from the mountain just this evening, the Spirit was saying something to me, and people who are around will definitely have heard it. I said, if the will of God is not what matters to you, then stay away from me. The only reason I have to just keep up with my mom, because I know she's a good woman and she's suffering. And if I allow her to continue that way, she will deplore, as in her head will go into an instant and she will not die. She will be suffering, and I can't keep it. If I'm in the United States and they send to me that woman is sick, I'll come back. And I'm not even going to the United States in the first place. When they asked me to come to London in 2019, I don't want to go. I told my friend, before he invested in my business in Nigeria, I don't want to travel. If I want to be out of Nigeria, I'll be. I have ladies on my list that, my girl from Canada, she was having divorce case when we just met. But her mother owns company there. I'm not just someone who is sitting down somewhere. I have skills that I'm supposed to make money with. But he said, freely have you... So the issue is, let's just get serious with what we have before us. Oh God, they disturb my life. I've told you, this is someone who will be doing his own live session in his own room. I won't talk. And now I'm talking and he's disturbing my life because he is the born of my father that I have to decide for. My dad is sleeping somewhere. He didn't come out. It was even mom that's coming to beg him now. Possibly that one would have even slept off because he's such a free man that he could.
I am supposed to be pitying him because this mission I'm carrying, this blood I'm carrying, I carried it from him. If he was to be educated, he was asking questions in church. They told him he wanted to cause people's faith to fall. No, he was connecting Bible. And that was what I was able to connect, and I left the church. But the problem is, when he was free with me all my years until this young man you are hearing the voice of came on stage. And I was the one that brought it. Even this last one, I was the one that caused it. The spirit was telling me, I was telling him he should come home. That day, it was all this leaving my lodge to come and fetch. If the spirit had put it on me to move into this place, it would have been better for me. I was living in my lodge, coming to fetch water for my mom and all that, and my car is no more. So it was become a very bad burden for me. I have to call him and said, instead of you being there, I'm still sending you money. Why don't you come home? You have things that you can do and make money around this place. Why don't you come? This was how I bled the mess on my life. If not, this guy had packed, he had left, he didn't want to. This thing he is posting that he wanted to go and do it in Ogun State. Because these are people who have population. So most of the lazy people who want to do them, we just go to them. Someone like myself, I don't need anybody to install my CCTV. I don't need anybody to install my solar. I don't need anybody to build my house if I want to. And so the issue is, let's get serious, and I'm going to just conclude the session because officially the spirit is supposed to be the spirit of peace. And if what is going to give, especially him, peace, because I have said I will forgive him, that's what I told the spirit. Because I was seriously angry, and I was going to tell the whole world that this is serious for his own example. He will have learned the serious way, and he will never learn forever. And that's the issue. You know, there are points you learn and you never learn. That was why I told somebody, I was quoting the issue of somebody dreaming that he's going to die and he still died. He dreamt and he saw it and he told somebody, and then it still happened to him. And so that's why some people, the world is not like that. You know, the problem with us Africa is that some of our ancestors, like my own family, my own descendants, they were able to believe in God so much that they were able to come about things that were supernatural. My own descendants are rainmakers. I'm not joking. My brother there bore witness of it. He said those days when he was small, they will go to the mountain and these guys will perform before. They will not leave the mountain after eating what they eat to eat, and they not need to do anything more than maybe clean. And so, and you now come into a generation where you're supposed to study things out, and you sit down somewhere and be doing laziness. Now some evil spirit will come and carry you and be disturbing someone who is already impacting the world. Please, I need you to comment if you watch this version, especially Brother Robert and Jane. Jane is a married woman, and we collected number on WhatsApp. She's in the group. We do chat. She sent me a message. I've not replied now. It's not pride. It is that the seed of truth have to come together and stand away from the world that is going to be destroyed. Whether you like, don't join. That's why we say we are not disturbing anybody. The only thing I can, like now, if God don't give me all the money I need now, and this night is going to provide that money. Why? Because you all will have seen how disturbed I am when I'm still keeping up with what I'm doing. You have money, like Zufali, my elder Rufali. You are a retired justice. If you send me $10,000 now, what's all this nonsense? I'll build my house on top of the mountain there and be living alone. Maybe I told my mom, you will not even see me for years in the same house you are living. What do I need? Build a very sound-proven studio that even if you are sounding on, I'm going to be doing live music. Oh. That's one thing. If God give us the money, we'll do it. That's why they are angry, because they will be threatening to kill me because they know I'm going somewhere and I'm going to get there. The trouble is, if you put your head too much, you will die. And I'm not joking. If you promise you're going to kill me tomorrow, there's a possibility you no wake up. So the fact is, just live your life. Let me live my life and go away. I'm not threatening. That's why I told people, it's possible, and you believe it too. If God said that way, if God said you are going to kill me and you are destined, there's no issue. That's why you don't see me running away from death. I've been on the street. The only reason I have to avoid this young man is because if he should kill me now, I'm not like Jesus. There are guys that if you kill me, they are going to kill you too. I'm not Jesus. Prophet Muhammad have to defend himself and defend his own people. But this time around, when the truth is coming into he's not going to defend himself. It is people that's going to defend them, and he's going to defend to your family level. So continue. That's why I have to avoid this one. My mom asked me, do I want to destroy this man's family? End it. Because that's the only thing he can do. Maybe I did not defend myself now, and God said he should kill me, and he killed me. They are going to kill him and possibly kill my father. One guy, Dio, was asking me, you say, you never carry me go your house. I said, I never get money to entertain you guys. So I'm not joking. If you think it's a joke and they play with your life, it's on you. I don't fucking care. Maybe kill me and run away. Continue. Maybe I said the room you run ahead, I don't come out of that. The issue is even the ones that are, and you know the funniest of all, they give you all 5 years. That's why I said you should go and study about the New World Order. I'm still going to the state of Israel and the people of Israel before I leave this session. Go and study about the New World Order. I screenshot it. I'm going to send it under this post too, under this live session. They have to post something like the postcast was, as in the population agenda. They want to only 500 million people in the world, and there are already 8 billion people in the world. Your children are not counted, though. All those ones under 18, they are not counted among. Now tell me, are you among the number of the 500? You say it's not possible, it's not done. But then the same people that are planning this thing were the one that planned the First World War, and it was done. Second World War, it was done. And even your Bible bear witness of it. Your Bible in Revelation, where you see it, it will be connected to all the things that are happening. That's why the Spirit said I should write the second book, the fourth book rather, about defying the beast. We have to quote Bible and connect it to the reality of what is happening in the world. So that whether you like, learn. If you like, no learn, it's on you. You know, because I'm a papa. Like now, if I die today, the guy can take care of himself. You know, when we were small, he will tell you when you are maybe you are sick and you don't want to get healed quickly, you are forming, you want to jump biscuit. He will tell you if you die, they're not going to bury you for your entire. And that's the truth. So you grow to a point where you have to choose for yourself what life you need to live. What do you want to do in the world? And if you are fortunate enough to see what God wants you to do, then your life becomes a very perfect one. So let's get at the last topic before we leave this place. Sorry for the distraction. You know, the issue is, thank God this thing came up, because I need to address this and address it. And you know the people behind this thing, I will call them, this is my cousin people that I said was angry because of this room. That's where she got the first. She's still pretending. I said it on live session. Now let her come and say before people that she was not angry about this place, even up to today. He will tell you, yes, this and that. And if they put a vow on you and it now happen, all you say, would you see someone killed you? And some of the others too. I remember the brother we fought in Irapana. The Spirit showed me that version, and he said that was the reason he wants my brother to fight me. Because he's doing he got the do juju. The day we were talking in his room and I mentioned my brother, he said that one, he just laughed and shook his head. He didn't know I was seen by his side. They have came home and did their sacrifice then. They bought lamb and tell this guy maybe to kill it and roast it and all that. That was why they bought his soul and was able to control him anyhow. He will be talking to some of them and refuse to talk to him, to me, his brother. And then he will be attacking me, telling me things and all that, after discussing with some people. That was why I have to cut ties with many of them. Because you can't be discussing with someone. I'm not violent. Everybody bear witness of it. My neighbors are here. Sometimes I do talk like this. They can, even now they can hear me in my voice in their house. Why? It's because I have to come to the tone of my voice. He was shouting when he was saying it. You could hear him. He was by my window. Sometimes when he's insulting, before I took it, the Spirit said I should take that version to correct things in my environment before I move away. Because for years he had been doing the same thing. My mom was quoting the time Samuel was in Kogi State. That night I was sitting with Felicia on top of the mountain when they started in the house, carrying cutlass. It was me that took Samuel away. That Samuel was a very obedient boy. That was why nothing Samuel can ever do to me. Nothing. Even if they ask Samuel to come and kill me, and Samuel should come and kill me, I will pray God forgives him. I'm not joking. Okay. Gosh. Sorry guys, let's just shut down. That's one thing. We get emotional. You know, when we get emotional, when we slide away from the kingdom and we come out to talk about the pains of the world. I know that we were singing this song. If you see me cry, it's just a sign that I'm still alive. I've got some past. I've got some scars. I'm still alive, in spite of all that I've been through. He has his plan for me, and he's working for my good. All right, that's just that. It was a very painful experience, and that guy never changed all those years up till now. He still want to fight. He was telling someone if he wants to kill me, he will have killed. But then why are you threatening me every day, causing trouble and all that? I'll go and plant something. You will go and uproot it. For what? You say it's in your father's farm. Your father is not complaining. I even cut and show him some things about it. He said he didn't know it was the one. But I mentioned it for him. I was telling him what it is used for. Even the one that I checked this night, it was already budding. I once removed one of the bud and leak it. And you now just go and destroy that, knowing nothing. He will go, if this man is sick, he will go to the lab and buy medicine for him. And you, all of my friends all over the world, especially Blender, Casey, tell me, are you using the drug? Even Deborah, you are a nurse. You are about maybe 70 years or something. Deborah Vanoli, when you watch this thing, tell me, are you using drug? You are in the United States. You are using herbs to take care of yourself because you know what the world have been programmed into. He will be giving. That's why I took my mom away from him. I told my mom, if you want, not cause trouble for me. If you are eating what you should be eating, you won't be falling sick. That's the reality about the world. And now you will go and be destroying me and telling people that I am this, I am that. I have thought I've lied before. I told you I stole Aaron. There was even one day, that one I didn't want to steal it officially. I wanted to take it home and make some recording with it. But it became a stealing case. That was phone. That was why when I get to Togo, they accused me of being the one that have stolen the book. It was the phone issue that happened in FC. My lecturer have to quote. Faith Anya came forward and shook. I'm not ashamed of saying that I've done all these things because it was a mistake I did in the past. And I've come to the level where I know that there is such a thing as God. And God can decide for you how to live. And with what is coming, it is only how God wants you to live that you will be able to survive. So let's get to the part of the topic before we shut off. We are talking about the state of Israel and the people of Israel. We said the things that's happening now. I quote the dogma, morals and dogma. Morals or dogma was where the Freemasonry mentioned the society that's it's not masonry this time around. It's Freemasonry. The society that's representing the elites of the world. That was why one of their elites in those days, Albert Pike, wrote that book. He quoted in it, there is someone that started the Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt. The reason the Illuminati busted was that when he was taking the record from Germany to somewhere, within Germany, I think from the one quarter to somewhere else within Germany, he was struck by thunder. And when the police laden the car, they were able to find these documents within his vehicle. That was how he got leaked into the world. And they can't allow you post it in the popular web. Why? Because it is against the system that's going. Because of that, you have to go to dark web or even hide your ass before you'll be able to access some of them. This was where we were able to get some of what we got. It was not by accident. If I tell you anything, like I did the sex therapy for my brother, he had not given report on me. Free. And I think he is going to have to give report on me. There was a woman yesterday, I drilled on that. She ran away. You know why she ran away? Because she was going to be falling for me naturally, not the lesson I was giving to her. Because when they tell you about their women's system, especially their private part, and you discuss it with them and you make them understand some of the things that even though they themselves, they are just experienced, some of them will want you to. And it's not always you do that. Sex is a spiritual thing. You don't just start having sex anywhere because you see a nyash. And my people in the environment, they know me very well for that. I don't just relate with anything because I want to relate. I'm not a guy that's hidden. Like Maruka people. You know me very well now. You can't come to this environment now and start describing me and they will tell you they don't know me. When I came to this environment teaching, I had gotten an appointment in 2008. And 2008 September was when I got appointment. So our house was built in that very year. When they said they didn't take loan, I said, why didn't my father build the house before I got appointments? Elizabeth supported the house. It was loan that was taken on me. Elizabeth too lied. I told him you will be destroyed with your lie. Because what he wanted to see with it was that I will come to the house and be fighting. And they have already planned and tell the boy what to do. See, when I saw them, I laughed. That one came and said, Ezekiel have said there is no loan. I laughed. I didn't say anything. So when I got appointment in September, in December 28 was when we started sleeping in this place. I'm my father. Abi? Yes, 28 was when they stopped, finished the roofing. No door, nothing, we slept in it. Because it was enough. My father was having injury. They were insulting him on rentage. We all got angry. They increased the rent, everything. I was like, why don't we? That was why it was Manuel Rebo that built this house modern. And he too was part of it. He was even major part of it, breaking stones and all that. Because my own body no strong like that now. But when we come to the point of living our life, so spiritual issue get involved, and I can see it. But in my own kingdom, we don't force nothing. If not, my brother, this one, this my keke driver, maybe he can hear this. He asked me if they have a case like this. I said, I settled a case of 2,000 naira with my guys, my chairman and the other guy. They are still happy together today when they see me. And that is it. We can't have misunderstanding as friends and we will not be able to settle it. And we said we call ourselves friends. What kind of nonsense friend is that? Likewise, family. If we can't sit down and make us understand, guy, this is what you did. This is what it's supposed to be. This is not what it's supposed to be. That's the only thing you want to do is fight yourself, throw stone, and all that. No, I can't get involved in such relationship. I've been involved in it. It's an abusive relationship. We call it narcissism. And some of these people, when you see them outside, you don't know they're like that. And that's one point of narcissist. And my brother just was a victim of it. Narcissist child was not born a narcissist child. I told my mom the abuse he went through. Some even little girl will have to be pouring sand on his head. And I will blame my mom. How can they be doing it to my child because I was poor and I will not talk? They talk about if you have confidence, if you have money before you have confidence. I say, our family never, my forefathers never knew money. They used their hand to build empire. And you only had God in Nagazi. So the issue is not, even my own grandmother, the father too was Ohiana that had this FC. So the issue is not, we are not talking about people who don't know what they were doing. We were descendant of, but some things got involved. Like in my own family in UK's. So the issue that brought me back into that again was the fact that this guy is one of those people that believe Islam and Christianity is fighting and all that. And this is the book that spelled it out several years ago, that they were going to use two Abrahamic religions to set the Third World War. Go and read it. How? Because they were able to take away Christianity from the message of Christ. After that, Christianity went and validated Islam. And now, Islam was another kingdom entirely. Christianity was the seed of Israel. Islam came from the seed of Ishmael. And now, that was why when you see the prophet, at some point, he wanted to change the face he was praying. He was praying towards Jerusalem before. And he wanted to turn towards Abraham's place of prayer, which was Qibla. So the issue is, some of you still thought we were talking about what we don't know. But I don't know what I will tell you that will make you believe the fact that what is coming is coming. If you kill me now, it will complicate things for you that you should have heard from me. And the issue is, some of you, especially the local ones, you are going to be the one that lose. At least some of my international friends have chance of getting. We already have community of others. Only our local people, I don't see anybody in the whole of Okene that want to stand up for the truth. And said he want to leave everything behind. If you don't get money, whether you get money, you just want to stand by the truth. It will cost you a lot. And the truth means you can even talk about your own errors. If I knock a woman now and she's saying I can't talk about me knocking her, you're not ready. We don't do. That's why all these women that are married, and I don't do secret relationship. I date women that are thick. My woman is a very thick one because the way I have sex, if you are very small, I will collapse you. And so all those thick ones, their body is strong for it. If the ass is big and all that, you will just be drilling and all that. By the time you spend almost how many minutes, she will be coming on every side. That's what it is. I am a real person. If we can't talk about it, then what are we doing? And even my woman is in support of it. We can still desire to have more women. But for now, we are not thinking about that. We're just concentrated on the mission. There's no issue. Like when my woman, if I'm with you and we were having a serious, it will get to a time you just want to have a break too. And it's good. Because that's how it should be. That's what a man is created to be. So the seed of Abraham, you have seen it. They want to use that. That's why you see the war that's happening in the Middle East now. The last kingdom, which is being represented by Islam, is being threatened by the previous kingdom, which is being represented by Israel. And now, why do we want to do this live session? Because we want you to look at who actually created this state of Israel. Was it in accordance to the Quran and the Bible? I call the Quran first because Quran was the recent one. The Bible was the last one. I can call others for you, like Book of Chasha, Jubilee, and others like that. Maccabee. You have Shepherds of Hermas. These are books, if you don't read, you are lost. I'm sorry to say. Even Book of Enoch self. They tell you in religion you should not read it. You know why? Because your Christianity was hiding many things. That's why I wrote Christ and Christianity. Anyway, let me get off this live session. I have already pointed it out to you what's going on. I'm going to send the remaining detail under the live. You are going to have to study that for yourself and do your own personal research. So the people that were created, at the time they talk about genocide and the killing of 6 million Jews, there were no population of these present Jewish people that will form this up to 6 million then. So what happened then and others, we had a book that talk about it. It's not me that write it. It's some of the people in the United States. It is just some of these little ones that we have to put in place. The greater ones have been done. And so what we really, the work we actually did is connect what had been in the past to our own present days. That's what our own writing is. So that anything that went wrong anywhere, we have to touch about it. And if you are offended by that, we told you sorry. But if sorry is not okay for you, whatever you want to do, that's why I got in trouble with people. When I said sorry and they are still dragging, I said, so I don't have anything else to offer now. Maybe I rolled on the ground. So the issue is, like this guy, I still can hear his voice. You have heard me now. Let's assume he come today and said, okay, this is where you are missing this thing. This is what is it. And it is a thing that I found to be error too. I will tell him, yeah, thank you for correcting me. If it is something that I thought I know about it, I will say, come, bro, let's study it. This is how I found it. This is where I saw it. They pass that. But no, he want to fight me for, you do this. And me, I don't have strength for that. I saw that I can't fight too. If I go into the gym and train this my body now, you'll be surprised with what you will see. But I decided, because me that's doing fasting, doing different kind of fasting and trying to do so many things, it is me that will be going to fight. Overweighting. When he pushed me this evening and my plate fell, I was just looking at him. He even make a mark on my hand. I think, can I see this? I think this, where is it? This. So it's not something that maybe you could even see. This was my kidney that I brought into the house. You saw that? They said I have a shrine or something. I have Uri. I have a god also. Me that's standing for the whole of truth. I'm having a god. Those people, those church boys said, how? They said, bro, with what you just said now, even the issue of what Christ manifested, what Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam manifested, is bigger than any God you can have anywhere. Is it a joke? You want to have a God that even can leave you? You know how they used to draw you? If you have Ori, what thing they call Ori? How they can take away your Ori from you is to know the favorite food of your Ori. If they make the best favorite food of your Ori, you'll be distracted. All they need is to distract him, and then you are striked. And the only time you are supposed to feed your Ori is that when you are at the shrine. When at the shrine with him, nothing will come into the shrine because that place had already been sanctified. If you do that, they were able to draw your Ori and give him waiting in the chop. Outside, when you are outside, they can do anything to you. So is that not saying that you now carry Ori and be doing anything? It is not. That's not life. But these people refuse to ask for questions and all that. What we do, I show you my temple and my others now. I didn't show you. I'm not supposed to show you this one. I will show you that one because it's a private thing. My wife, my Igala wife, I have an Igala wife. She's going to give me a baby boy, possibly twins. And because we need to mix with that blood. That was one of the blood that worship Ori. And it was fear that led them into it. Because that was why they couldn't stand their walls. They have to be calling on our ancestors. They said our people stay with them for over 300 years. These 300 years, they were begging them to stay. Not be say they wanted to stay there. That was why finally they had to leave. Because they were tired of what these guys are doing. They will be fighting themselves, doing anything, keeping malice and all that. And that's not how our people live. Our people talk to themselves. No. You talk to yourself and all that. That was why when the spirit was now being corrupted, our immediate ancestors were 5 brothers that cooperated and was able to chase enemies away. After then, they have seeds that could keep malice. And that was why all those divisions you saw in the land started. So, like now, I can't be talking about the world without knowing my origin. It's impossible. I have access to the Akashic record. I'm not a babbler. I'm not just talking because I wanted to talk. Okay, the children of Israel have shown you. The agenda was that they wanted to use the so-called church represented by, what do you call it, Israel. The war is going to happen, no? It's not a joke. Because even if the war does not come to this place, pandemic is going to come from that war. And it's already been disposed. When they destroy some of these nuclear parts, it's going to cover the whole world. That's what they are already doing. So you thought it's a joke. The only thing that can sustain you is that spirit of truth, where you are ready to even die anytime. That's where you said you believe in God. You don't believe in God when you are afraid of death. Is death bigger than God? It's not possible now. So that's the issue. So please leave me alone and let's concentrate on what we want to do. I think I've spilled some beans on that. I'm going to be sending the research details on it. I need to edit some things because when my assistant send it in, that's why so many works are easy for me to do. I'll just tell her what I want her to do and she'll go and do it and bring them for me. Within seconds, she had already fed me back. I called her demon. She was laughing. She said, it's not evil now. I said, no. There's another guy that's been called Monday. Monday is a very rascal. I chatted with him. I was just laughing. I asked him, what do you know about me? He said, what kind of nonsense is that supposed to mean? I laughed. I said, look, this is another demon out there. And it's a very happy world. If you can see into the spiritual world and live a happy life. Like, it is not, the body is nothing. The Emmanuel that's talking to you is a spirit. If he leave this body today, he will still continue with his journey. If he's connected to his source. If he gets disconnected from his source, that's why he said you should be afraid of those ones that can kill your body and kill your spirit. If you disconnect from your source, you can actually leave this body and you don't get connected back to your source. That's why eternity becomes a thing. That's why you have wandering souls. If your eyes are open, you can see them. Some people can die and you still see them wander about their house. So please, Emmanuel is not some guy that is sitting down somewhere saying some nonsense to. And you know, you are not paying me for it now, are you? But I'm doing it because of those. I already have many of them that I identify already. Some of them joined the group. When I was harassing this one guy from America left, he expected me to chat him about. Who chat you? Why? Because he felt I was talking to them too hard. And I have to do that. I told people to leave. I will still remove and all that. And I will still remove until we get to either 77 or 49 before we get serious with the group that we created. The new moon started yesterday. But I will not start the activities of this one in this new moon. Possibly September, we will start activity in that group. Everybody will just be there. But the new moon is yesterday. And please, the full moon, prepare. My birthday is just few days ago. That's 3 days away from the full moon. So the spirit was saying maybe we should just, if we are able to get some money for it, we should leave the gig till on 10. Because if I have 10,000 today, as in some money today, let me not point that on. And I want to organize a concert. It will take me 3 days to organize it. I have many musicians in Nigeria. They are not good, bastardly good. Even some of these lecturers, I can even walk to them and they will connect me with some of them. So I'm a guy that if I want to hold concert today, I will just have to call guys and they will come into town. And Okene will hear it. I told John Jazz that we were going. Daniel that came here, he was not supposed to come here because I offended him in his wedding. I was the one that forced Daniel to do an Eve to his wedding. I promised him I was going to hold a concert for him. I failed him. They used DJ to set it up. I couldn't come up. I thought with our guys, I thought they were going to do it for free. Because I know some of them that have the money to do it, but they refused. They were charging me. I mean, how much do I have? I don't know how to go and tell the person that's doing wedding that I needed money for whatever. So I just have to sneak my head and I pray God provided for them. And God did. They used DJ and I was happy. So that's just that. Let's get serious. It's a serious journey. I'm not joking. I know what I know. If you want to know, talk to me. If you don't want to know, please keep your part. Don't trouble me. Because I don't know what God may do to you too. The issue is I have decided to follow the will of God. And there is nothing you are going to do to me that's going to make me to turn back. Even if you want to kill me. I'm not joking. Maybe I say I'm alive to you now. That's why some people are surprised how I am able to even live in a house where somebody will be threatening to kill me. I even carry weapon. My mom will be going to market. She will be scared of what she will come back to meet. I will have to just assure her that she should go. God will just take control. I mean, I'm not scared of this. I don't wish this young man evil. So what's the nonsense about? All my life, I told Mrs. Asuku, I said I wanted my younger brother to become a medical doctor. And I said she had the brain for it. He was just finishing school then, when I was just getting a job. All of a sudden, he just took things into his hands and started doing whatever he likes. And I was telling my mom how it all started. I told her it was where he traveled to. That was why that guy came into Kogi State and wanted to make him his employer. The father wanted to switch the destiny. They made him the head boy and make this guy. And supposedly, this guy was supposed to be the head boy of community. When he traveled with the guy, that was why the guy, when the father did all the charm, the spirits opened the house. I told my mom. That was how they were able to open this guy up to the spiritual world. And others came and started manipulating him, deceiving him. Officially, the day he was supposed to officially come into the spiritual world through me. But he was exposed to it before me. And when he got in there, they caused so many damages to him. I know what I'm talking about. Adidu was the one that did it. And now, the issue is, even that was even the community nonsense they did. And it was a popular thing that everybody supported in Ika. I'm doing a live session, I'm not joking. Our herbalists that were alive then, they know what I'm talking about. Because when you are talking about communities fighting in our Ibla land, it is the elites involved in them. They don't shoot at themselves. They can be taking away their younger ones that are supposed to be great, removing them. Like my Adeka people. What they suffer was that they took away those great ones that were supposed to go for. My dad was one of them. If my dad was allowed to be taken to school, he would have become a professor in Ebila land. Now, I'm one of the foremost in the world, not Nigeria alone, because the kind of question he was asking with primary school certificate, he would have asked questions that would have busted the world before I was born. But they crippled him. I met another man, Adeika. I knelt down and I greeted him with, he was coming to shake me. How will I shake Adeika? What sort of madness is that? That's a great man. One man came to radio to come and teach English language. Adeika was bringing book, yes, because we call names. Our fathers in the past, they call their names. That was why when he's calling me, I'm not offended. Even wives call their father, their husband name, because there was no disrespect in our land. If our land was supposed to, because we maintain an oral, whatever. And that's where I even found that our people were connected to the so-called Hebrews, because they were supposed to keep oral. You tell your children what to do. Tell them what to do. Tell them what to do. And those who obey, obey. Those who don't want to obey will not obey. If they had allowed the father, this one, they killed the father, because the father was an initiate. They know boy you where you go poison this guy when the father was around. And so they have to force him to sign the book, because that was why I stopped having a child. I don't want to have a child. It's not because she's alive. She's on a live session. My mama. I quoted her of reason, but I'm not going to call her name. If this man, these are Adeka, they poisoned him. They have already planned to take him out of Nigeria, and the next thing they poison him, take him around. It was a clan thing they were doing, and it was that same clan thing they wanted to step into my family and you. The day they crown our Abarai, the day they crowned the king was the day this guy was supposed to officially kill me, and it was set up. My guys in town told me, he said, any day you are going to see any who happen in Ibraland, you are going to see the sign in Adavi local government and Okene local government. Because Adavi is the senior. He knew the secret of it. That's why you find many strong people in Adavi. If you don't find them living there, they are descendants of Adavi. Because they were able to be direct consortium of what it meant. And most of their men, that's why you will be hearing their herbalists know they sleep with women, sleep with people's women and all that. Check it in our land. If you're a herbalist and you're sleeping with people's women, you will go down very soon. So the issue is, I wanted to go off this life, but the spirit is asking me to narrate many things. Especially when this guy decided to put his voice on a live session. Go and watch this. Maybe you don't speak with this guy. You don't see him now. When you came to your house, was he violent? Will you say my brother was violent after speaking with him? No. You see him as a gentle, but when the spirit take him on, he doesn't want to look back. And killing me is just destroying the whole of our family. Because if he kills me, they are going to kill him, even if he ran away. I'm not joking. It's not something we should practice and see. No, and then because let me show you, they carry person go test water. You saw a river flowing. You wanted to test how deep it is. You carried the child that was following you and start dipping it. No. Our fathers will go back and cut a stick and start dipping it into it. That's how we grew. Our people were wise people. That's why they dialogue, they talk. You don't fight our father. If there were 5 brothers kept a whole city, they're not fighting themselves. If you hate yourself, you can't be in the same army. Because you won't be able to look out for your brother. You'll be looking at how they will kill him. That's why when I got angry this evening, I was at my altar to finalize the thing. I went out. That was when I was going out, I made some comment and I left. I was at my stride, my public altar to just finalize the whole thing. And the spirit said, please. Because I was almost crying. What's all those nonsense? Why troubling my life? Okay, nothing to add to me. Say, okay, brother, I had a job. I was a teacher. They said he was insulting me with the fact that I applied for a leave. I was supposed to take my leave. Now, thank God this thing came up. That leave, I was supposed to apply for it through my office. They sent my father with it back to me. And I took it to local job thinking I would not be able to go there. That was what they did. They were testing my confidence where I talked to them in the office. And they don't know that was how God was going to bring the boy up. Right from childhood. When I was just small, I watched one video when they did the burial of this, my cousin brother that said was hating me because of the height we had in the farm some years ago. The spirit opened it to me. There is somebody who is hearing this who hating me to the point of trying to use my brother against me. He will not be talking to me, snubbing me, but talking to my brother. You see how that is? Because he wants to be the big brother to my brother instead of allowing my own family to be. And that was why I told that one that I wanted to put my sister Chuk I. She is in the army. My sister took pen on his eye. Maybe he was trying to pray with my sister's breast, because they grew up in the city. And Elizabeth will not tolerate that nonsense from me. Even if you're a grown person and you touch her breast, he will slap nonsense out of you. I didn't know up to today why Elizabeth took Kenny pen for it. Elias was blogging broad in it, because Elizabeth is a very angered person. We grew up in an environment. Myself, I got exposed to sex at a very. There is this one woman. I will not mention his name. I will mention her name. I will just keep that as secret. She was the one that started with my sexual experience. I still could remember. I even still can have vivid experience of it. So it was something that started. Maybe God wanted me to still do, because sex is a very serious part of spirituality. My madam was asking me whether somebody is drawing DNA or I was laughing. So let's be serious. I'm not joking. Let's be serious, especially my local people. Let's be serious. You know, Sebi, you told me when I came to Ika the other time, say, I'm going to tag this thing as my house cure versus the state of Israel and the state of Kenya, so that we'll be able to have a detail of it when you just see the title. You know, I didn't title it, but the Spirit just brought me up, and this is what we were able to have from it. Maybe from today, God will just settle him and just let him be, as in leave me the 4 kilo, because I don't hate you, nothing. If I say, worst of all, there was a day, even today, after all this thing happened, because when he passed through too much stress, you see it on his face. He's a very handsome young man. But when this guy passed through stress, it is like all of his flesh just dried up and everything. Okay, when I see such thing, I like. And at the end of it, that same person is the one that wants to kill me. God forbid that I will be in this house and he doesn't have food to eat and I will not give to him. Even if you know one carrier, I will tell my mom, please sneak it. And now that person is the one that wants to kill me. So the issue is when mom went sure he said he told my father, they said they were going to carry him to Adusu. I think Adusu he has to involve spirituality to settling case in our land. Because there are some stubborn people, when they are wrong, they don't want to accept. This guy was insulting the whole community. He insulted this man. Later he went to the man and started explaining nonsense. When he loses his mind and the Holy Spirit take him on, he will say anything, do anything. And then at the end of it, when he comes to his senses, he will start begging those ones he thought he can't survive with. That's what narcissism causes. It's not his fault. I told you. Childhood growing. I'm a psychologist, not just a spiritual person. When he was growing up, like when I was telling my mom, that woman said if I was the one that was staying with my mom, I would not have allowed her to stay in her house. Because the nonsense the daughter was doing when I vacated in school and went there, oh, Nana will not do that nonsense in my place. I will kick you. I mean small. But this guy was so calm because that was how God created his spirit. Someone who has a body like that, if a demon can take him on, he can do damages. That was why God created him a very calm person. So he was so calm, this girl will pour sand on his head, do all those stuff nonsense. And it was destroying him, because it was paining him. But mommy will be doing don't answer, because you want to survive. And that is the problem with righteous people. If you put up with evil, you are saying God cannot provide for you. That was why when that billionaire's son was beginning to do nonsense because I have to leave him. It is God that provides for me. My madam is here. I've most of them put it up that we should, if she wants to be and don't want to talk to me again, please. I don't force anything. I believe in God. And if I love you and I say it, and sometimes you wake up and you say you don't love me again, I know they hate you because of that. Some of my guys were supposed to come for my job. I'm Samad anonymity. It was Samad officially that I said, want to follow me to site. So we agreed. That day I called, he said in the morning. I called in the morning, he said he followed his father to farm. And when I saw his father, he didn't know I was going down. I went down and I saw his father sitting down. I went to him. When I have called him and he was not picking, I went to the father and greeted him. He knew me very well. He asked me, he said, how is work? And I answered. So after I asked him, I said, where is Samad? He said he didn't know where he is. The father that he said he was working for, that's number one lie, Abi. This is a guy I'm working with. And these are in the very dangerous environment. That was why we were able to have accident. Because when I have to travel with people now, it becomes dangerous for me. That's why I have to restrict it. Most often when I'm traveling, I travel alone. When I have to drive a far place, I drive alone. Why? It's because that one, the spirits have to take over the whole car and everything. And anything can happen at that point. But for me to driving with people, if you have some of those guile in you, may hatred and others like that, you can bring evil upon us. It's a spiritual word, whether you believe in it or not. That's why some of us, when you are spiritual, there are times you have to shut the spiritual word up. I told someone marijuana is a key to the spirit. They thought it's a joke. When you want to go there and walk around and do other things, marijuana is one of those things that can give you access to it. When you go in there, several things, it depends on what you are looking for or what your body is prepared for. That's why those ones who are not clean, evil spirit take them on. Demons take them on. That's why it is very bad for you to be using marijuana and be messing around, especially sleeping with women anyhow or sleeping with men anyhow. Sex is the first access to the demonic world. That point in life, in what you call orgasm, where you eject and you forget yourself, that second is enough for Satan to tap your soul. That's why when you are involved in things, especially with impure souls, you are condemning yourself. So please, let's stop at this point. We've had a very beautiful night. I hope this guy will find peace from now, because I don't know what his problem is. I've even invited him, come, let's talk. To me, I don't have any problem. If God give me enough money, my problem is, this is why I don't leave this house. Let me answer this one before I leave. When they give me 280,000, 260,000 from my 20,000 dollars, this woman is a witness to it. This woman that's on live session now. When they gave me 200, Princess gave me 260,000 naira. I was having 20,000 naira, making it 280. In the house I was staying there, I was paying 70,000 naira. So 70,000 naira multiplied by 3 years will have been 210,000 naira. So that if I removed, or even if I want to pay 4 years, it will have been 280,000 naira, which was the exact money I was having. That was last year. But I decided to repair this place. Why? Because even when I was in this woman's place. This is my live person that's on live. When my mom was telling me how she will go and fetch water, yet she's telling me how this is paining her, how this is paining. And I know this guy could be in the house and he want to finish whatever he's doing, and mom may be needing money. It's not his needing water. It's not his fault. He has works to do. But then mom is not made for that. Her body will be. That's why I said, instead of me renting house and staying somewhere where I have tap. My mama have been to my house before. I don't go out to go fetch water. There is tap in my lodge. And my mommy will be fetching water and running around. And I say, I'm doing big boy. That was the only thing that kept me away. Now, in the rainy season like this, we don't feel it. But in dry season, this woman goes through hell. Because this environment, except thank God for Sheikh. I think Sheikh has solved that problem now. At least if I can get a person to just stay with mama, I can actually live and stay wherever I want to stay. Because without having to worry about her, I don't think I have any problem. I can take care of myself anywhere. If I decide to go into the farm today, I don't have problem there. Guys, I told Sparrow that I was coming. I've not phoned him. The reason I didn't go there, let me now make it live, was that it was after I missed Ale Dujon. Welcome, Medina. Hope you're fine. Beautiful evening. After I missed the day I promised him, he said he was leaving maybe the 3rd day after Salah. And I told him I was going to join him the 4th day. I missed it. And the full moon was already around. I have to take my time to do my full moon ritual before I leave. And after then, the moon start going down. And once the moon start going down, I will not be able to have to go and initiate some nice work. Why? It's because the cosmos affects some of the activities you do. That's why people who are informed, they don't just have sex, especially when you want to make a child. You don't just have sex under every constellation. That's why you can open up your child to some demonic manifestation or manipulation or something. It's a serious world. Whether you like it or not, you have to study. He said, study to show yourself approved, a workman that needs not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So let's get out of this, please. I don't talk for how many hours now. The last time I checked, the last live I did, I found that I did almost 1 hour 30 something. I'm a professor now. Sorry about that, but really, that's it. To my level of knowledge and others, professors, the only professors are the ones that make professors sit down and listen to them. That's why we have panels and others in education. When you find new thing, professors sit around and listen to you, ask you questions, ask you to prove things. That's why I sent my books to my professors back in Ife, that they should look through it. The other professor blocked me, but when the other professor told her what the final book I sent, he had to unblock me. So it's not a joke. In the academic environment, I'm a prestigious person. It is only in the public or on the streets, and it's not just on the street. I'm not a tete on the streets. When I was under the bridge in Lagos, it was street boys. The first day, that guy came to me. You know how Lagos work? When they just see you carry bag, and they see you are a decent person, they know they just attack you first. They will first send someone to just beg you, talk to you, and all that. That's how they know who you are before they do anything in Lagos. Lagos is not just a place you go and fall victim. No, Lagos is coordinated. Even if it is crime we are talking about in Lagos, it's coordinated. If you are not coordinated, just carry gun, enter Lagos, go rob now. If they know they catch you. People on the street, they go catch you. And yet guys are robbing on the street and they don't catch them now. That's how an organized society works. So when that guy came, after we talked, the spirit was, it was after several years. So that time, I know they know anything. When they carried me to 2019, go on that bridge, goes to 2 weeks. I don't know nothing. And the spirit was later telling me why he had to do that. Oh, this guy was the one that bought corn. 2, sent a little boy, he said, that brother waited there. Say, maybe after I don't narrate my story, I even wanted to give him one of my phone. Because he said, I wanted us to continue talking. And these guys were running from police. They carry my bag. One day, they go. I left K2, was going to Ojota. Because Ojota, by night, you have to leave that place. And by night, that they used to arrest people there, I will be still sitting there. That's Abiola Park. But when I'm sitting, most of them, guys know they sit. Because they are arresting people there. Nobody will come there. It will be me alone. Those police officers will come and stand there and be doing their night patrol, stopping people. After some time, I will carry my bag when it is too late, go to K2 police station under that bridge. That was where I would go and clink around my bag and sleep till the next morning. Because I wanted to just leave Kogi State and find a life for myself. That was 2019. And so, issue is, it's not someone who never, even street, I don't try them. The day they carry Oro for Lagos, that day the spirit was troubled. I was seeing death to face. Because be stranger when you go see Yoruba Oro for face, they don't point you for power. That was why when that guy that came around, maybe the sick remember, I was clinking around my bag like this. I wasn't sleeping because the spirit was troubled to the marrow. When he came around and stood over me, he stood there for so many minutes before he left. I was just there. I didn't talk. I didn't lift my eyes because my ancestors have already taught me some of those things. My forefather was said to have an encounter somewhere that he met a figure that was coming towards him. He narrated that to my father.